And hello, everyone. Welcome to a late episode of Go West. Um, my bad, it's my fault, pro streamer. So, hi, I'm Wandering DM. Today I'll be playing Robert Stone, the town's deputy. And we are missing two players today. But one of them, the doctor, will arrive probably after the break. Otherwise, we're missing one Katie, but that's okay. And yeah, let's go around the table, introduce the other members of the cast, and then I'll leave it up to Deirdre, our keeper, to take us away. So why don't you... Here, Kelly.
Perfect timing. Hi, hi, I'm Kelly. A Kelly Lane on Twitter, A Kelly in chat. I play Maisie, who is our local young female runner manager of the general store, and also love interest of he of many names. And as usual, I'm munching. You can find me here some Saturdays, and you can find me Mondays and Wednesdays over on Scarticus Academy, where I DM and I play. That's me.
And Quentin.
Yeah, I'm playing a resident old man, Father Boris Makarov. Again, just kind of surprised he's still alive. Just keeps plugging along. Yeah, and I'm super excited for this episode, and I'm ready to play. Pass to Simon, Deirdre.
Yeah, that'll be Deirdre.
Hey y'all, it is time, as we say in this game, to drive some fine folk mad through the deserts of Four Corners, New Mexico in the year of our Lord 1870 with a sun barely risen about 9 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday of October the 30th, if you want to be particular. We have our deputy and our priest and our doctor, along with the new resident of town, one Mrs. Zelda Ambrose, had last time taken themselves over to ask some questions of one Mr. Bruce Taggart, owner of the saloon. And when we last left off, our Mrs. Ambrose had attempted to maybe do something with some hypnosis on Mr. Taggart. Unfortunately for her, there was a bit of a backlash for her, caused her to have, well, massive rage and migraine of a very painful kind of sort. Mrs. Ambrose has taken herself and retreated upstairs to one of the saloon's rooms for rent and is going to recline for a while. That migraine in her brain is rather severe, actually. We left our dear Maisie tending to the store after an introduction with Mrs. Ambrose. And what are the gentlemen going to do now?
I don't think it's a good idea to go to the Bradford Ranch on the Devil's Night.
You do also have the two dead bodies. You do also have two dead bodies to deal with.
No, we brought them to the Undertaker.
It's true. I mean, in the general sense of dealing with.
You mean the one body in the washcloth?
Yes, that poor unfortunate soul who done got himself wrung out slowly and painfully. And the other gentleman who got the life force of his blood sucked from his body. But yes, the physical remains are being left and dealt with at the Undertaker. But anything you choose to desire to answer any questions on that.
Well, I don't particularly want to go to the Bradford Ranch either. Not if we're missing so many people. I still think there's something fishy with Sam Taggart.
Bruce Taggart?
Bruce Taggart.
As do I.
We're gonna have this conversation away from the bar.
No, we're just right in front of him.
Right in his face. I think there's something rotten with Bruce Taggart. Sir, I'm right here.
Just quick draw on him.
Standing in my bar. What's wrong? You're standing in my bar. Can I get you another drink? No. I'm assuming that you're having this conversation somewhere else outside. You know that Maisie's store is open and there's no one there, and that's where you left her last. If you...
So, what happened to Maisie? She was injured or something, and we had to...
Well,
oh, no. We're still from her bedroom incident.
Yeah.
That's
so
right.
She had been, very successfully... Well, according to all you know, she is merely taking care of the store while you guys are asking some questions. Well, she doesn't even know where you all are at the moment. You didn't tell her.
Well, we kind of didn't want to tell her we're gonna snoop on your uncle.
Yeah, there's that.
But if anyone could snoop on Bruce Taggart, it might just be Maisie.
What would we be looking for if we were? More snake symbols? More... If he is controlled by the snake people, how would we help him?
I don't know how we could help him. All we know is who to trust and who not to trust.
Basically, just Dr. Adams and Maisie and the other doctor.
Right now, that's not a lot of people. And I think, oh wow, names this morning. The other deputy.
Edmund Reed.
Yeah. And I think Mr. Reed is a mite too unstable at the moment to be of any help to us.
I mean, you haven't seen him yet this morning.
No, but last we saw him, he was clutching a shotgun.
Like I said, that bout of madness affects us all sometimes.
Otherwise, we take our chances and we go to the Bradford Ranch, despite it being the Devil's Night.
What would our intentions be there? Would we attempt to apprehend Miss Bradford? Or more questions? Another wellness check, perhaps?
Another wellness check could probably be a good thing. Especially what with the ranch hands dying from the other ranch. So maybe we could go up to the Bradfords and ask them, if they've seen anything or if some of their hands have been gone missing.
We could also investigate the Cruz Ranch as well. Those were her two men who died. One man who died.
One was Ricardo, who worked at the Right. Mrs.
Mhm.
and Sophia Lopez Cruz, and the other was Laurie Campbell, elder brother to one Mickey Campbell.
What Deirdre said.
So, you have 2 different places to go. Did anybody? Well, I recall that the deputy, you mentioned that there were some deaths to Maisie as you returned to your abode in the early hours of the morning, as she decided to
Mhm.
sneak out in the early hours of the morning so that no one would see her leaving your residence. Did you actually explain what happened
Nope.
to her?
No, I think I just told her that we had found 2 dead bodies. No, wait, that's not true. One of them. No, I think I said one of them was
You said one of them was
out.
wrung
like,
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said one of them was wrung out, but you didn't tell at that. But you didn't tell her who they were.
No.
Are you gonna go talk to Maisie? Because you're. Well, where are you 2 having this conversation that's not in front of Bruce Taggart's bar, where he's currently standing behind?
Could be on the way back to the general store.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're going to do anything, we might as well have Maisie come with us. Because, one more person and one more shotgun.
Yeah, I think we're on our way to go see Maisie and maybe get her opinion on the matter. Like, where should we go?
All right, then. So Maisie, not 20 minutes after these, the gentleman had left, and this new young widow that you had met, one Zelda Ambrose, had left your fine establishment. They return. You still don't know what happened in the conversation upstairs. You still don't know what they were planning to do when they had left you, but they did say that they would be returning shortly. And here they are.
Oh, hi.
Hi, Maisie.
Good morning.
Good morning. What happened now?
It might be easier to say what hasn't happened.
Oh boy.
We found 2 more bodies. We're not entirely sure what their connection is with their deaths or even the strangeness going on around here. One of them was a ranch hand working at the cruise ranch, and the other one was Laurie Campbell.
You would know Laurie Campbell. He's about your age. Nice boy, all in all, but very focused on his working for his family and trying to improve their lot.
Would I know anything about like his habits, like where he usually spent his time?
Possibly a couple. But you might want to ask. You would know a little bit about his habits and his general personality from just merely knowing the young man as long as you did.
Well, did you guys like actually examine the bodies? Like, did you try and figure out what happened?
We had Dr. Enders examine the bodies. They appeared to be missing their blood. One of them was scratched open, and the other one almost resembled a wrung out dishcloth.
It
Gross.
wasn't a pretty sight.
Yeah, I can't imagine. So it sounds like it's more of those things, those red tentacly things, like at the mines, and
We tried looking for one, but we weren't successful in our search that night.
Couldn't find anything.
have we looked any more into what those symbols in my room meant?
Yes, George. Have you been reading the book at all?
God damn it. I haven't found any information regarding the symbols. It's not like there's plenty of places to search here.
What about the other doctor? Have we asked him about the symbols in the room? He seems to know an awful lot about an awful lot of things.
It's almost like he knows too much. I'm wary to trust such a man.
I don't think we need to trust him. But if he's the only lead we got, I feel like we're just running behind whatever's happening. We can't get in front of it, and people just keep dying. We can't just keep chasing our tails without any answers.
Mayhaps you are right. George?
I agree with Maisie. I think it's time we pay the other doctor a visit.
Did we write down like a sketch or anything of the symbols, or do we have anything like that?
Well, you do know what they look like and what pages they were on in the book.
Yeah, George.
Yup.
You gonna show Dr. Adams that book?
He's gonna take it from me.
You don't know that.
Everyone wants to take the book away from me. It's my precious. Mine.
All right, is there a giant volcano around here we need to throw this in?
I don't know. As we say, there's no harm ever came from reading a book.
Possibly a volcano at the top of a very long staircase.
I mean, you know that there's a staircase somewhere. You're just not 100% sure where.
Dr. Adams, we ride.
All right, so you're going to go try and find Dr. Adams.
Yeah.
All right.
I think we check at the bar. That's where he's staying, right?
He is staying at the saloon.
Mm-hmm.
The person who would know specifically about where he currently is would be the good Dr. Anders, who apparently will be joining us in the near future. As he does. But how are you going to do about this? Also, gentlemen, are you going to tell Maisie anything about what happened in the saloon?
I think we ought to. Maisie, I think your uncle is under a spell.
Like the spell of a woman, or can you be more specific?
Well, you remember that new lady what came into town, Zelda, her name was?
Yeah, she had something with the symbol that Deirdre told me last night that I can't remember.
An index, like a calling card, a business card.
Okay, yes.
And, well, we went to ask some question to Mr. Taggart. And, she tried to do a thing to him, like to ascertain his, truthfulness, if it were. And,
You let some woman who had that evil symbol do a thing to my uncle?
She tried to hypnotize him, I think. But she said that she was blocked out of his mind by something. That is the best I could interpret it. Hypnotize him to get him to tell us some truth. But she was forced out of his mind. She said it was very unusual.
I would like to revisit the last time a strange lady came back into town and we let her do things to men in town. It ended very badly for everyone involved. And we just let this woman who has this symbol that's all over that evil ranch come in and try and hypnotize my uncle?
I mean, now that you put it this way, it sounded like a better idea at the time. We missed you, Maisie.
I was slightly apprehensive about it, but she seemed very adamant about finding out his intentions. Her card that she had,
And What's-Her-Face was very adamant about getting a loan with Robert, but we didn't let that happen now, did we?
I don't think so. Well, no. Her card that she had with the symbol on it, we both touched it together, and we were transported once again to the desert with no buildings around. There was no staircase, but it was just her and I there. We weren't attacked, but we did have some time to talk about what was happening. Apparently, it was not her first time either being to that place. She might also be a key in this puzzle. As weird as it sounds, but weird things have been happening all the time. Trust her fully? Probably not. I'm not sure if hypnotisms and antiquities are trustworthy things to go on, but she might be useful.
This may sound a little harsh, boys, but I think all this craziness that's been going on hasn't just been draining your sanity, but it has been draining your intelligence away.
A fresh set of eyes is always good, Maisie.
So what you're saying is we should probably go check on my Uncle Taggart and see if anything's weird.
Yep.
He appears to be normal.
He appears to be normal, but then again, if something's in control of Bruce Taggart, I don't know. I'm afraid. I'm not saying that your uncle has anything to do with the Bradford Ranch, but I think that maybe the Bradfords have put a spell on him.
Okay. Well,
let's say there is a spell on him. How do we cure him?
Well,
Do you think that Dr. Adams might know something?
I don't think Dr. Adams knows much about the magic.
well, a lot of times that magic has been happening around here. It's been women specifically doing it, or there's been symbols and stuff involved. So, I mean, maybe we just go check the saloon. Maybe I can... Where does he live? Like, where is his house? Or does he
Bruce
live?
Taggart?
Yeah.
Bruce has one of the houses on the east side of town, about a couple down from the church. Doesn't spend much. Oh, he spends some time there, but the old confirmed bachelor that he is really spends most of his time in the saloon.
Well, what if we just look around the saloon? We can check his office again. And I mean, I know I poked around in there before, but I didn't really know what I was looking for. Maybe there's more symbols on the ground, or bloody handprints, or crazy ladies.
Did we notice if he was wearing something new, like a new necklace or anything when we were talking to him, or he has some fresh ink or snake symbol on his forehead? Nothing. All right.
So I take it then you're going to go to the saloon, possibly to talk to Dr. Adams, possibly to talk to Mr. Taggart and poke your nose where it don't belong. Is that the current ideology at the moment?
Yep.
Seems like
Well,
it.
then, why don't we take a short, hot second to fetch our hashtag better doctor and let y'all remunerate on those plans in your head.
All right, we'll be back in a couple of minutes, everyone. And we're back. Yay.
All right, what were we doing?
We were going to the saloon.
That's right.
Apparently,
we're
y'all
to
are going to the saloon. There was a discussion of talking to the hashtag best doctor about various things of various types, and also checking on one Mr. Bruce Taggart. As you enter the saloon, again, it's early in the morning, probably pushing closer to 10 o'clock now. Bruce Taggart is not currently behind the bar. You do hear some sounds coming from his office as he's putting life together. What would you care to do, folks, as the sun begins to, well, rise high in the sky, but there's a heaviness in the air. And, well, Deputy Stone, you might recall as you saw the sun break the sky this morning, that bright red sunrise, that warning that you took to heart about how a sailor never likes a red sun in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you all wish to do?
I would like to go see Dr. Adams. I walk upstairs and pound on his door.
All right, so is the good father going by himself up these stairs?
I think Maisie might go to check on Taggart first.
All right.
Pop in,
So-
say hi, see how he's doing.
All right. So you are gonna go do that. Are you, Father, as you see her break away from you, are you going to stop or are you going to just proceed upstairs?
I'll just proceed upstairs.
All right. Deputy Doctor, what are you all planning to do? We'll figure out what's going on next.
I think Robert will just get a seat at the bar and help Maisie if she needs a distraction or something.
Okay. So Robert's sitting at the bar. Maisie's going to go towards the back office and see about her uncle. The father's heading upstairs. Doctor, where are you? What are you?
I'm gonna head up with the father. I'm gonna see Dr. Adams.
All right, then. Well, why don't we start with going upstairs with the doctor and the father as they approach the door of one Dr. Benjamin Adams. What do you do?
I knock politely.
There's kind of a grumbled, "Go away."
It is. I would very much like to talk to you, Doctor.
And I would very much like to sleep, so go away.
I look at Dr. Anders.
Don't look at me. I can't help the fact that he's a cantankerous old man.
Please, sir, just a moment of your time.
Oh, Benjamin, I don't think the old man's going to leave until you answer the door, so.
Fine. And a couple of seconds later, there's a sound, and the door opens, and Dr. Benjamin Adams is kind of staring at you. He's got his shirt and pants on, but he's removed his boots and his holster. He's got the cane in his right hand. What seems... I thought we agreed that you weren't going to wake me up, Doctor.
Oh, this is not my visit, Doctor. The father here has a few things he'd like to ask.
Men of God at ungodly hours of the morning. There's some sort of irony in that.
Indeed. Please, might we come in for a second? Instead of talking out here in the hallway.
Mikasa, Sukasa.
Thank you. I stroll on in.
Mm-hmm.
Doctor, what do you know of spells, magics, maybe even hypnotisms?
They're all real. They all really do exist. My ability at them is mediocre at best. I know some people that do it quite well. Is there a particular reason you're asking? And as he
Yes.
kind of closes the door behind you and just kind of goes and reclines sitting up on the bed.
But we have the reason to believe that Mr. Taggart might be inflicted with such a thing.
I feel sorry for the poor gentleman. He serves a decent drink
The
most of the time.
real reason I'm here is, do you know of a way we could help him shake off the spell?
Do you know what it is?
The best that we have to go on is the new lady in town, Miss Ambrose. She tried to hypnotize him as well, but said that she was forced out of his mind by an unknown entity, force, something unusual, she said.
Okay.
We tied that in with him being under someone else's influence.
It's not impossible. There's a certain lady that I know of who can do such things. Don't want to really piss her off. Usually best for all involved kind of things. From my understanding, the influence, for lack of a better term, can be ended by the, death of the individual who's controlling. I've had some luck with a couple of sharp raps to the back of the skull. Some people claim that true love can conquer all.
I understand. I am sorry for taking up your time.
I mean, realistically speaking, I have very minimal. Let's be honest. And he kind of looks at you
I look back.
for a second, and then switches to Russian.
Hmm.
Um,
This guy's a stud.
and says that as he has experienced in his life for a very long time, there are many things that are possible. And without further information, particularly about the specifics of what is controlling the individual, he's not very sure about what would be. But according to the other doctor over here, that the young deputy has a resource that might be useful.
I'll continue in Russian, and I wanna. Do you remember Miss Langley?
Yes.
She had a book on her, a very heretical book, from what I would think. It had symbols in the book that we also found in four corners of Macy's room.
Without seeing it or knowing what it was, I would have no possibility or ability to tell you anything further.
I understand.
Heresy is very complicated. You might want to broaden your definition of heresy, Father. You're going to be dealing with a lot of things that aren't 100% in your camp. And then switching back to English. So, is there anything else I can help you find, gentlemen, with, or can I go back to sleep for about another, 4 or 5 hours?
We will leave you be. Thank you for your time.
Next time, bring a beer. Life is always... Such conversations are usually better over a beer. Or 4. And he just goes and stands and opens the door.
I stroll out.
That's our cue to leave.
Guy's useless.
Doctor, don't forget I left the notes for your sister. Have a pleasant day. Don't bother me for the next 4 hours. And he kind of slams the door shut, and you hear like a lock turn, and he kind of leans and passes out.
I walk downstairs disappointed.
Is that what you hoped? Is it?
Oh no, I know exactly
where
he was. I know exactly where he was coming from. Like, yeah, it was kind of vague, but I need to steal Simon's book and get it to him.
This will be very, very interesting. But at the same time, we're going to cut back downstairs to Maisie walking in on her uncle in the back room. He's got his jacket off and his shirt sleeve rolled up. There are a bunch of ledgers spread out in front of him as he's kind of twirling a pen in his hand as he flips through some and making notations.
When Maisie walks in, she'd like to look around the room and just see if there's anything like off.
Do you want to roll that spot hidden?
Yes, please. Oh, hold up. Something went weird with my character sheet.
I mean, I updated it to the...
Yeah, but my scores are all wrong because I have like a 70 something in spot hidden and it's reverted back to a 25.
Oh no.
Wow. No, that's not cool. Yeah. What happened? Everything else is right.
No, yeah, it's just my investigator skills are all wrong.
Yeah, we'll have to figure that out. But I know that you have a what is it?
I can't. My listen and my and my spot hitter are both at like 70 something.
Well, isn't it a good thing? I'm gonna slide up because that's the thing I can do. So Kelly, right now your listen is a 73.
Mm-hmm.
Stealth is a 44. What else have you rolled recently? Spot hidden is a 76.
Well, that's what I need for right now.
Yeah, and we'll figure out the rest later. Ooh, success on that spot hidden for you in the good Mr. Taggart's office. Doesn't seem to be anything out of place. Everything is exactly as it was last time you were in this room, about a week ago. Almost 2 now, actually. You see that there are books and ledgers. A couple of the ledgers that were on the shelves are obviously now on the gentleman's desk. There's a large crystal decanter that was on a sideboard behind his desk, has gotten moved to his desk along with a cut crystal tumbler that he's sitting there kind of resting above his left hand next to his pen. And he isn't really paying attention. The door's open and he's kind of very focused, hasn't kind of glanced up or acknowledged that he's heard you, if he has.
I think Maisie would just kind of like knock on the open door.
Yeah, bring the coffee in here.
I will glad you get your coffee if you want, Uncle.
Oh, Maisie, I'm so sorry about that. How are you? Maisie, and he gets up and walks quickly over to you. Are you all right? The deputy told me that you were kidnapped. Are you okay? Why don't you have a seat right here? And he kind of starts guiding you to one of the chairs in front of his desk.
He told you what now?
Well, no, actually, the deputy didn't really say that. That was the priest, and there was conversation about trying to find out about somebody had broken into your store and locked you up in my feed shed.
Yep. That about sums it up. It was an intense evening, but I'm fine. I've got.
Are you okay?
Yeah. Doc fixed me right up.
All right.
I'll be fine.
Did you talk to your mama yet about that? I mean, are you feeling safe? Do you want to spend the night here? Are you okay? Or?
I went and visited my parents. I didn't want to worry them. Didn't want to upset anyone's delicate health. They know the gist. But yeah, I'm fine. Everything's fine. We need to get the lock fixed on the back door of the store, I think, is the big thing.
Yeah. We'll get that fixed right for you. I know a guy. He'll do it right.
I appreciate your help. But yeah, I just I've always found comfort being here, and I just wanted to see how you were doing and spend some time somewhere I felt safe.
Always welcome to spend time in my wonderful establishment. You are always welcome, as you well know. But I do have a question for you, Maisie, now that I know that you're all right.
Yes.
What's going on with you and that young deputy?
Well, I haven't talked to Daddy yet. But there is potential that he will have to visit Daddy soon to speak to him. And that's all I'm going to say on the subject.
Do I get to threaten him with a shovel?
if it makes you feel better.
All right.
But how are you? How's things going on here? I've seen you've gotten some shipments in from some odd places lately, and it seems real busy in here.
Yeah, that time of the year, getting things ready for the end of the winter, getting ready for, the fun that'll be happening tomorrow night. Got Halloween. Have to throw ourselves a small party, right?
Of course.
And, I've been looking over some of the old books, making sure everything's all right, and got a couple orders coming in. Apparently Theodore was right kind at the end and sent a whole mess of stuff out at the end there.
What kinds of stuff? Just more booze or?
A couple more booze. There was some beer kegs that are apparently coming in tomorrow, and what was the other thing? Oh, it was a new poker table. Brand new with that nice slate and green velvet padding.
Odd of Theodore to be so generous, given it's like he knew the end was coming.
I mean, I don't know about that. I can say that the man had been commenting about the poker table for a while, so that's not really a surprise. He'd been lambasting the one here and convinced that it was slanted, and therefore that was why he kept losing when we had our weekly poker night.
Yeah, and he'll come up with an excuse for anything he would.
Man was my best friend. Well, one of my best friends for a reason, but I do acknowledge his failings. He could not play poker for his life.
You're not wrong there. Even Daddy could beat him, which is really saying something.
Your daddy beats most folk in town.
How are you feeling? It seems, with all this busyness, it seems like you must be under a great deal of stress.
I thrive under this environment. It's always the best time at Bruce Taggart's saloon. The only stress I've got right now is apparently Mickey Campbell, something happened to his brother and had to take off.
Yeah, I heard about that. Maybe I can come by tomorrow for Halloween and help you out.
Oh, that'd be great. I need somebody behind the bar to help me out. The drunks are going to get themselves in a rat mess.
Be nice.
And I know that
have someone you can trust pouring those shots out for everybody.
Always do. And I'd figure that Miss June's going to be sitting on the front porch of Lady Goodnights all day and all night. So, there's that. But wouldn't you rather be hanging out with that nice young gentleman of yours?
I wouldn't be surprised if he's here too. Maybe you'll get the opportunity to threaten him with that shovel then tomorrow.
Kinda looking forward to it, not gonna lie.
I'm kinda looking forward to it too.
I'm kinda
not. Is there anything about him that seems off? Like, is it usual for him to celebrate Halloween like this? Is it?
I mean, he usually takes advantage of pretty much any holiday. Now whether it's his actually celebrating the holiday or being a very shrewd businessman and using the individual's preferences for continued imbibing to his own advantage. If you want to know, you could roll psychology, see if there's anything different about him.
Yeah. Oh, except I don't know what that score is for me either. Never mind, we'll worry about it later.
I have that too. Come on, Kelly. Psychology.
I think it's 60. I feel like this is a good test. Like, how well did Kelly know her character sheet?
Kelly, psychology is 63.
I think part of it is that the setting got changed.
Yeah, something got changed. Ooh, success. Doesn't seem anything out of sort. Seems exactly the same as usual. There's a slight concern for you that he's kind of trying to, you know, he knows you real well, and he knows that you would get upset if he gets overly expressive with his concerns, so he's kind of trying to back off with it, but he is still a mite concerned about the fact that somebody broke into your room last night, or the night before last.
Mm-hmm.
Also wondering why, you know, just in general, looking a little haggard, but you could definitely say that that was because of, well, his help is no longer here.
I think she would kind of stand up like she was getting ready to leave, and she'd be like, "Oh, by the way, Uncle Taggart, when is that? You said that there's supposed to be another shipment coming in for tomorrow. When is that supposed to come in? I might have something on the coach too."
If it's on time, and he goes and kind of like flips through a couple pieces of paper. Well, the coach is supposed to be in the morning tomorrow.
Okay. Thanks. I haven't been by the store much because of all of the craziness happening, and I couldn't quite remember the schedule.
Are you really sure you're okay?
I'm a little shook up, but I've got some really wonderful people keeping an eye out on me. So,
all right. Now, I'm sure everything will be fine, but you know, if it's not, my door is always open, right?
I know. Any concern, I'll just come straight here.
All right. And he kind of, you see this kind of hesitation as he looks at himself and then looks at you. He's like, I should be getting up and walking you to the door, but I have too much crap.
And she just kind of like smiles, and she's like, I'll see you tomorrow.
Have yourself a fine day, Maisie. And don't warn him. I want to have fun with this one, right?
Okay.
And as you walk out the door, you see him kind of go back to whatever he's working on and kind of scratch his head and writing things down. The doctor and the father are also kind of coming down the stairs at this point. Deputy, since you're the one sitting at the bar, what are you doing sitting at this bar?
He's just reading a book, you know.
Yeah, sure. No. I'll be. I want to take a look at everyone in this bar, or people outside. Not that Robert feels followed, but I feel like whoever's doing whatever in town must have a pair of eyes somewhere.
So you want to roll that spot hidden?
Yeah, I was thinking spot hidden or psychology.
Well, we can do both, but you're going to get different information with both.
Well, start with a hard success on spot hidden.
The only person that you see out right now, again, it's like 10 o'clock in the morning. There aren't a whole lot of people in this bar. There aren't anyone in this bar except for you at the moment. The only person you see out wandering is, Mr. Billows is on the street. And you clock it because it's about the second time in about 5 minutes that he's walked by the building.
I think the second time I see him go by, I'm gonna go outside and hail him.
As you go outside, you'd also notice that there's a carriage and Mrs. Bradford is coming out of the bank, walking towards that carriage.
Mr. Billows.
Deputy, how can I help you? And you just feel this chill come over you as the gentleman is perfectly polite, but there's a glare in his eyes. You're used to that. This gentleman has had a negative opinion for a long time.
Mm-hmm. I was going to ask you the same, Mr. Billows. You seem a mite lost this morning. Did you want to come into the saloon? I saw you looking at it pretty intently.
Just doing my job, deputy. Have to keep the lady safe.
Has Miss Bradford come to town often these days?
She has business at the bank. It's my job to keep her safe. Don't ask much more than that.
Well, I think you're doing a good job. I think Miss Bradford is pretty safe at the moment.
Mm-hmm. That's right kind of you, deputy.
And I'd want to roll psychology on him. I know he doesn't like me, but I feel like there's something underlying there.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Please don't fail. Extreme success.
Yes. You know he doesn't like you because he has very negative opinions of your previous service, and the side in which you served upon. Gentleman served on the opposite side of that late unfortunate mess.
Mm-hmm.
Unpleasantness, as it was called by some folk. But while there's that personal negative association with you, there's also a professionalism about the man. He is definitely following orders of some sort, and definitely acting in the protection of Mrs. Bradford, but there was another set of orders that he seems to be following. You are aware of, again, a military man yourself, you're aware of exactly how he's been walking by this saloon. It's almost like a sentry on watch.
Mm-hmm.
Or, as you might be aware of the gentleman's previous service and know that he was a sniper for the Union Army. Gentleman looking for his quarry.
Anything I can help you with, Billows?
Not at all, deputy. Not at all. Seems like the lady is ready to leave. Have yourself a pleasant day.
All right, and I'm going to tip my hat and say pleasant day to you too.
He begins to walk back towards the wagon, where Genevieve Bradford is waiting, and she goes to reach, he offers her a hand to kind of lift her up into the wagon, and she turns at a second, sees you there, raises a hand and smiles very politely. Deputy, you really must come on out to the ranch at some point. We missed you for dinner. I'm sure it will be a wonderful experience for us all if you could join us. Do let us know when you're coming out. I'll make sure that we have a wonderful spread arranged for y'all.
Well, I might take you up on that offer. I do admit I wanted to... That little incident caught me off guard, and I had to rest up for a couple of days.
Glad you're feeling better, Deputy. We all feel so much safer in this town when you are on duty. Oh, hold up a minute, Mr. Billows. And she starts walking towards you. And she kind of, when she gets up close to you, she kind of like leans in. I heard there was some unpleasantness with Miss Coldwater. Is she all right?
I don't know what you heard, but everything was fine.
Well, I was talking to Geraldine, and she was saying how the father mentioned that somebody had kidnapped Maisie and imprisoned her in the feed shed. I mean, should we be concerned, Deputy?
I don't think we should be concerned about anything. I think whoever did that isn't likely to do it again, or if they are, well, they'll have to contend with the law.
Well then, have you seen Maisie today? I was gonna try and call on her and make sure she's feeling all right.
I've seen Maisie today. I can give her your can tell her that you said hi or something.
All right. And she kind of gets this kind of smile on her face. Quite look forward to it. But you'll have to come out to the ranch again, like I said. We do appreciate all your service in this town, Deputy. You do a fabulous job for us.
Well, I could come tonight.
Oh, that'll be fabulous. I'll mention to the cook. How many are we expecting? Are you going to bring Maisie with you?
Well, there's a few people that told me that they wanted to make a wellness check on you, Miss Bradford.
Wellness check. I am perfectly fine. There's no one... Men, always thinking a woman needs looking after.
I think it would do well for them to come to the ranch too and see that you're in good spirits.
Well, how many are we expecting then? I need to let the cook know how many for dinner.
Would it be a bother if I asked you to expect for 5 people?
5? No, not at all. I'll add that to the count. Have yourself a pleasant day then.
You as well. Sorry, my concentration is being also occupied by the other players trying to count on their fingers why I'm
Who's
accounting
number
for
5?
Zelda.
Okay.
Jeez.
Quentin and I are just having our own little fun here, okay?
All the fun. And she waves very politely back at you and alights herself back in the carriage, and she and Mr. Billows ride off. About that time, you see Maisie coming out of the office, and the doctor and the doctor and the father, are coming downstairs.
So when Maisie comes out and if she catches everybody else's eye, she's just gonna like.
Yeah, probably about the same. Just
What are you gonna do, standing around in the middle of this saloon?
perhaps we should go somewhere less here.
I agree. We should probably gather. Where's Robert?
And Robert strolls into the...
Hugh looking out the window, him and Mrs. Bradford talking it up.
Planning dinner parties of doom.
You would probably see Robert standing at the door of the saloon, walking towards you.
Have you found
Robert.
anything?
Dr. Adams was, his rather unpleasant self.
Grouchy.
How about we take this conversation elsewhere?
I agree.
Sure.
The church is right over here. We could talk inside. Ms. Connors is gone now. It should be empty. I haven't had a service in weeks.
Walking into the church, you will notice that it is sparkling clean and polished to a shine. There's a note sitting on the altar.
Oh, crap.
I quit.
I walk up and look at it.
Mrs. Connors extends her goodbyes to you as she is leaving to go live with her sister in Albuquerque. She also lists a few other ladies of the town who will be more than happy to help you, reminds you of the hours that service is supposed to be held, also adds a small notation at the bottom that if you really need that much help with the secretary, I would recommend actually paying someone to help you with this. Oh, and don't, in like large block letters, baptism November 1. Underline, underline, underline.
Does it say whose child it is?
No.
Interesting.
She assumes that you know because this is just the reminder.
Totally no. Miss Connors sends her regards, and I'll chuck it.
Worst man of God ever.
George, do you still have Miss Langley's book?
I do. Why?
I was wondering if we could let Dr. Adams take a look at it once he's more awake.
Would you trust someone like him to have a book like this?
I would trust him to understand a book like that far more than any of us could. I mean,
Since we haven't been reading it.
I hate you all.
He appears to have more knowledge than he lets on, and he might know more about it than us.
You're right. I'll
We've trusted him thus far. And he
I'll get
hasn't
the book
really
for him.
hasn't given us reason not to trust him. He might be able to provide more insight on the symbols in Miss Coldwater's room as well.
That's true. Perhaps I can give Dr. Adams a hand in deciphering what those symbols mean.
Maybe. But other than that, he did not provide me with much. He said it was possible Mr. Taggart could be under a spell, and possible that there are lots of spells, and possible there might be a possible cure if he knows what was wrong with him.
so you're telling us things are possible.
Yes.
So he doesn't know.
No.
Not without more detail, is the way it sounded.
Well, I didn't notice anything odd about Uncle Taggart or his office, but he's getting more shipments in that Theodore bought. Like that whiskey, I imagine.
Mm.
Including more alcohol, beer, and a poker table. They're supposed to be, some of it at least is supposed to be coming on the stage tomorrow for Halloween party tomorrow night. And if it has the same effect that anything else in this town seems to have, any other alcohol that shows up in this town seems to have, tomorrow is going to get very interesting. But I told him that I would come help out at the bar, so maybe I can find alternative things to serve.
It's a good idea.
And at least make sure nobody important.
Well, the last thing we need on our hands is another all-out fist fight with the town or what's left in the streets.
So, while not productive in the way we'd hoped, at least we can start thinking about tomorrow.
It is something. Maybe something we could prevent before it happens.
And for those interested, I've secured us an invitation to the Bradford Ranch
Wait,
tonight.
tonight.
For dinner.
I mean, are we going early enough? I really don't think any of us want to stay the evening again there after what happened the last time.
Yeah, I'm bringing Susie this time.
I think it would be a good idea to have some of us maybe snoop around.
Well, I'm not recoiling at the thought of visiting the Bradford Ranch. It's not the highest of things on my to-do list, but it sounds like they're expecting us, so perhaps we should go. I will go armed this time.
Oh, so am I.
I might have a weapon around here somewhere.
All right. So the plan is to do dinner at the Bradfords and for the deputy to show off a small piece of literature to the doctor. I think on that note, we'll go ahead and take a break for the day. We'll be back shortly.
5 minutes? Enough time for me to get a coffee. Alright, we'll be right back, everyone. Stick around. And we're live. We're back.
And we're back in Four Corners. Well, there was a decision made to accept a kind lady's invitation to dinner, and also to talk to, well, showcase a book to the hashtag best doctor. Are you gonna try and do that today, Deputy?
I think I would before we meet our demise at the Bradford Ranch.
Alright, so while Maisie and the good doctor and the father all retire to their individual residencies to prepare themselves for an evening of fine dining at the Bradfords, what do we see with Robert?
Well, we're gonna see Robert go back to his room, take the book, and no, I'm not gonna caress the book. I'm going to try to hide it in my coat. Make sure nobody sees me with that book in town, and head on out to Dr. Adams' room at the saloon.
By this point, it's pushing 11 o'clock. Folk are walking around. It's a morning, and people are just going about their business. Bruce Taggart's still not behind the saloon, behind the bar at the saloon. He's still in the office, and he kind of glances out as you walk in and kind of waves at you, but is very focused on whatever's in front of him and on the papers in front of him. You being quiet up these stairs? Or you being...
I'm gonna be quiet.
Okay. Trying not to wake up some other people that might still be sleeping upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Going upstairs to the suite number 3 for Miss Dr. Adams. What do you do?
And I'll knock on the door.
What?
Father Makarov and Dr. Anders told me to come see you, Dr. Adams.
Just a second. And you kind of hear some grumbling in a couple different languages. You recognize some swear words and, well, English and Spanish, and sounds like a little bit of the French you heard growing up as a child. And the door opens, and Dr. Adams, again, with the cane in hand, gestures you inside. Can I interest you in a drink, sir? As he closes the door behind you and kind of walks over to the desk that's leaning up against the wall with the window.
I wouldn't mind anything but bourbon.
No, this isn't bourbon. I still have some of that very nice scotch from the other day. And he pulls out a bottle and 2 glasses. My friend left this. He's connoisseur, as they say. And pops the cork and pours for both, slides it over to you. So, what can I help you with today, Deputy?
Well, I have this here book. And I'll put the book on the table. Or desk, or whatever surface we have between ourselves. And I'll say, something happened to Maisie the other day, and we found symbols in her room. Those same symbols can be found in certain places in this book, and I was wondering if you were able to read what's in it. It seems to be a language that I really don't understand, and it's taking me way too long to try to translate it.
Well, let me see. Yes. He takes the book and he starts flipping through it. And he pauses. And he goes back a couple pages.
And he's like, "You've been holding the book upside down."
Well, there are pages missing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, I'm assuming so. This doesn't follow to here, and if he flips a couple pages, he'd say that this is here, and well, I mean, you see this symbol here, and kind of, well, it goes with this, and it doesn't follow that it will then go to here. I can understand why there might be some slight confusion.
So basically, this book has been written in some weird order.
Don't. No. It's like pages have been removed or reordered. And he takes the book in his hand and starts looking at it and flipping it around. Don't know why, but definitely pages are missing. You said you found symbols. Which ones?
And I'll open the pages and show him the symbols that were
The
in
pages
these.
that you roll me a straight idea roll.
That's based on intelligence, right?
Yep.
Success.
You find the pages that were marked with the symbols that you saw in the four corners of Maisie's bedroom, along with the illuminated pages on the symbol that started as an illumination on each of these 4 pages. And you notice again that illumination at the bottom of the last page with the staircase and the locked chained door. But as you're flipping through them, the pages aren't, while they're still in the same order, they're not in the same place as they were when you saw them last.
Like the symbols have moved on the page to be
No,
elsewhere?
like the pages themselves are in different places in the book.
Oh, okay.
Like if say the book, the page with the first symbol would have been like on page 76, now it's on page 42. The page itself has moved.
Mm-hmm. Has any other pages moved? Like if I look at the page before and the page after, is it the same, like the same pages that there used to be, or has like everything moved?
Some of them are the same and some of them are not.
Strange. It seems like some of the pages rearrange themselves.
Well, what point? Show them out to me.
Well, and I'll point, like you said, like this page that used to be on like page 76 is now on page 42, and I can swear to you, Dr. Adams, that this page was like further in the book than it is at the moment.
Okay. And he takes it from you and he's following where you're showing, and he looks and he kind of takes it for a second and flips it to the side. Huh. Do you see this? And he points at the binding of the book itself. And it's an old book. And these are hand-stitched book. So the pages themselves are sewn together inside the binding. Knot's been redone.
Alright, so I could probably put them back in order.
But there are still pages missing.
Yes, but at least if they were back in order, maybe I could make some sense of what it is.
That's a definite possibility. I can, however, tell you that it is currently a language of people with a slightly more serpentine nature.
Them serpent people.
And the four symbols that you are pointing to are focuses, for lack of a better term, for some sort of ritual. A lock.
So they were trying to lock Maisie somewhere.
No, I think it's more that they're trying to open a lock.
Huh.
Did anyone have access to this book?
Myself and Jane Langley.
No one else? I mean, you said that these were out of order from the time you read it.
It's been kept in my room, hidden in my dresser.
That sounds like the most secure place in this world. No one else had access to your property?
Not that I remember. Maisie was in it.
Alright.
Maisie was in it.
Maisie was in what?
Nothing.
Oh, alright. The best that I can say is if you could figure out if you could put it in the right order, you might be able to get more out of it. I can also tell you that the four symbols, again, are part of something involving a lock. Required possibly of breaking a lock on something. And there's some sort of sacrifice called for. But it's complex, and it's not a simple one. Most of these things usually are. There's usually sacrifice of some sort. Sacrifices are apparently, sacrifices are a big deal.
Like blood.
Blood, life, other things. Ah, I miss those days. But, oh, not the blood. Not the blood.
All right. Well, I thank you for your help, Dr. Adams.
Yourself indeed. Again, if you can figure out, if you could put it in the right order or figure out where things are missing, I might be able to help you further. Here's a, well, give me a moment. And he walks over to his nightstand where you see it's another book kind of sitting there, and he flips it open and goes to the back page and pulls out a couple pages and picks up a pen that's lying right next to the book and writes out like a couple lines, taps the pen, sets it down, goes to open it, reaches into a bag that's sitting by the bed, pulls it out. I purchased this because I might need it myself, but I figure you're going to need it more. Remember what I said, Robert? Those of us, people like you and I, need to make sure that we're in control and we don't fall into our baser natures. And he hands you a book, and these are some notations I made that should be able to help you at least decipher some of more of this other volume.
All right. And what's the like? If I look at the other book, is there a title on it on the spine, or
It's a blank journal.
it's completely blank?
Like I said, write it all down and then determine what's real or not.
I might just do that.
All right. I'm going back to bed. And then I'm going to go visit the nice lady, the very, very nice Lady Goodnights. It's quite a pleasant evening.
If you say so.
Ah, young love. Experienced that with most of my wives. Have a good day, deputy. And he just kind of stands and opens the door for you.
And I'll get out. And as I come out of the room, I'll check the pages that he wrote on. What is it that he wrote?
He kind of gave you a basic cipher for some of the words and letters for the symbols. Again, it's not very detailed because he couldn't figure out all of it in the, 15 minutes he had the book, if that.
Okay.
But he did roll hard success on that int check, so, you know.
All right. I'll
So
pocket
where
everything
you-
and I'll keep the book on myself. And I'll
Okay.
go see Maisie.
You're going to go to Maisie?
Yep.
All right.
Someone been snooping in my stuff.
I have no idea.
I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about.
Yes, go accuse Maisie. That sounds like a brilliant idea.
We should wait till we're at the Bradfords, though.
In the middle of supper.
Wait. I
Yeah.
was gonna say you don't plan on bringing the book with you to dinner, please.
We'll find out. Right now, he's going to go find Maisie.
Oh God.
How else is he going
Oh.
to keep it safe? His bedroom isn't safe anymore.
Yeah, so like the only safe place is on my person.
Yeah,
Mhm.
not delivering it to Miss Bradford.
I know how it looks, but like from my character's standpoint, like that's
He doesn't know. Yep.
Right.
All right. Make the character choices, not the player choices. Always go with what you feel is the appropriate thing for your character.
which
So,
is why I'm gonna go see Maisie.
all right. So we're gonna go cut over to the general store.
Excited about
What?
Quentin's face right now.
I need popcorn. That's
What is Maisie doing?
Tell us, Maisie.
I mean, I imagine that she's probably just has the store open. The hours have been very inconsistent lately, so she's trying to make sure she's still able to assist the fine folk of Four Corners.
There have been a couple people in purchasing some basics and sundries, and you've been hearing some comments about how that poor Campbell boy and that ranch hand from the Lopez Cruz Ranch, apparently got trampled by horses in the middle of the night, and such a shame as they were both dressed up for a night out and didn't even get to go nowhere.
Yeah, and I think she would just make small talk with them. If they're all dressed up and get to go nowhere, she'd probably mention the Halloween party that's going to go on in the saloon the next day. And
just as one of the older ladies of town is leaving, she kind of smiles and waves at the deputy as she carries her packages out the door
Ma'am.
as the deputy walks inside.
Miss Coldwater.
Hello,
And
deputy.
I'll look in the store to make sure that we're alone.
There's no one there. Just the two of you.
How are you feeling, Maisie?
I'm okay. I'm a little shook up with everything that's been going on, obviously, and being back here is not as comforting as it used to be. It's been a hard couple days.
Well, you know, if I can do anything to help, let me know.
No, I will. And just having you around and having everybody be safe is helpful.
Speaking
There's
of,
just been so much to take in.
it has been a wild couple of weeks. Has it even been a couple of weeks? It feels like time's irrelevant now.
I can barely remember what day it is.
Um, I had a might seem like an odd question to ask you, but I have to ask you something.
Yeah?
Um, do you remember everything that happened after you went into my room the other night?
I mean, we talked for a little while and I went to sleep and you slept on the floor and I woke up when you came back. Because I guess... And then I left.
I'm thinking someone came into the room.
I mean, I was asleep so heavy I didn't even notice when you left. But just...
No, go ahead.
I mean, who else would have come into your room?
I don't know. I went to talk to Dr. Adams and, well, we looked at the book together. It's mighty safer when he's around.
Yeah, I imagine he would know the appropriate amount of caution.
Oh, and he cautioned me well. I have a book now that I have to write. Apparently I'm gonna be a writer.
That you have to write.
I have to write my thoughts so that I don't go crazy about everything that's been happening.
Does he think that's going to help protect you from whatever happened to that woman?
I think that's the intent of it, yeah. My thing is, someone's been messing with the book and switching the pages to other pages. Like to prevent me from trying to decipher it. And I'm thinking, well, you know, nobody knew where it could be. I didn't tell anyone. I didn't tell you. I didn't tell the doctor. I didn't tell father. So I think my place might not have been as safe as I thought it was.
I don't think anywhere around here is safe anymore.
That's why I'm gonna keep it on my person. It's the only way to make sure it doesn't fall into other people's hands. I know what I told you about not reading it. And it's been mighty hard not to. 'Cause I feel like some of our answers lie in that book.
I just don't want what happened to her to happen to you. I don't want to lose you. I just found you.
I don't want to lose you too. And I think as he says this, he's gonna reach out for Maisie's hands.
And she will let him take them.
You're this. You're my only island of calm in this sea of insanity. That's good. I should write that down.
Yeah, I think you should.
So I had something else I came here to ask you, or to tell you. I know how much, well, how dangerous it might be. But there's something I need to do by myself. I just wanted to talk to you before I do it. And, I might not come back from it.
What are you talking about?
And I hope I don't offend you when I say it. But I aim to go speak to your daddy today.
About?
My intentions towards you. My feelings for you.
I don't know why you think you'd upset me.
Oh, I might upset him.
Maybe. But I think it'll be okay. And I think we've hit the 2 days. I think the sheriff will be okay with it too.
All right. I wanted to talk to you before I go and do that. I wanted to do that before we head to the Bradfords tonight.
Given what keeps happening there, I think it's very smart of you to get it done now.
Yeah, I do smart things sometimes.
Just sometimes.
Well, I mean, if it's any indication, you being here makes me smarter. Smarter. Oof.
Well, I don't know what I'm more worried about, you trying to understand that book and hopefully you've got protection now to do it, or talking to my dad.
Well, if I get shot and I don't make it, you can have the book.
Okay.
I love you, Maisie Coldwater.
I love you too.
And I'll go in for a kiss if you let me.
She will.
No!
I need Maisie and the good deputy to roll me a luck roll.
Oh no.
I'm gonna trip.
This sounds bad.
Of course I'm gonna fail it. I've been burning my luck like an idiot.
I mean, you're just about on par with Maisie right about now. So, Maisie, you hear it just a half second
Oh no.
as the bell on your door starts to ring as the door begins to open.
And she takes a step backwards.
as the door opens and you see a, well, very nicely dressed in a kind of light summer weight dress. Maisie,
it's
you
not the
recognize your mama walking in the door.
Oh no.
Well, at least it's not the father.
I think that was if you both fail the luck rolls.
I think if both fell, it would have been Maisie. You hear it a half second before the cocking of a shotgun.
Maisie, I was just coming to find you.
Sorry, Deirdre, that was a great mom voice. That was great. 10 out of 10. Oh, hi, Mama. George was just helping me get some things taken care of here. I couldn't deal with.
Yes, indeed.
What can I help you with, Mom?
I was hearing some very interesting things lately about things that were happening around town, and are you all right? And she just kind of strides up to you and not so subtly pushes by Robert to do so, to kind of come give you a hug and then take your hand. It's like, I heard what was happening. Bruce came out to the rant. Bruce sent a message out to the house. Are you all right?
Yeah. Somebody broke into the store and it didn't go very well. But that's why the deputy's been here to check the place out and make sure that everything is okay. I already talked to Uncle Taggart. He's gonna fix the lock on the door.
Well, are you sure you're all right? I know that these things are very disconcerting, as she kind of stares intently at both you and Robert.
And I'll just tip my hat and smile a bit and go, howdy, ma'am.
And 12 is a very low number.
How red is Robert's face right now?
Beat.
Well then, I'm sure that the deputy has you're in good hands with this deputy, right?
I'm only careful with my hands, ma'am.
Wise choice, deputy. Maisie, are you going to come? I know that you promised your uncle that you would be there for the party tomorrow. Afterwards, why don't you bring this kind deputy to dinner?
Sure, Mama. I can do that tomorrow, I think.
Good, that'll give me time to explain to your daddy what's going on, so he doesn't get shot.
I would appreciate that assistance, Mom.
Mm-hmm.
I will, Deputy was gonna come by today, but we can give you some time to
explain to your daddy exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
It's probably
Yes,
a
ma'am.
wise decision. And then we can make sure that we have the appropriate chaperones now, don't we?
Yes, ma'am. I think Father Makarov would be happy to volunteer. I've been spending some time helping out around the church and with tasks that he's had to do. And he seems like a very appropriate chaperone. That's also a very low number.
Don't kill the keeper.
Mhm.
Well, it's very interesting that you have taken an interest in the good Lord Almighty. But I do believe the father is an appropriate chaperone.
I don't really know who would be more appropriate than a man of God.
Mm. Maybe Mrs. Connors.
She is scary.
Well then, I can see that I'm not necessarily needed here at the moment. Deputy, have yourself a very pleasant day. I look forward to seeing you at dinner tomorrow.
Hi, ma'am.
You might want to bring an appropriate gift for my husband at the time.
I'll get something for Mr. Coldwater.
Maisie, we
Yes,
just
ma'am.
worry about you.
I know.
All right. Well, then apparently I need to go to explain to your daddy what's going on. And she'll give you a hug and a kiss and just kind of side-eye the deputy as she walks away. She's not glaring at him yet. Kind of like, I'll let you try and prove yourself level of glancing. But as she walks out the door, she purposely leaves it open behind her.
I guess you don't need to go talk to Dad today.
That was scary. I think your mama likes me.
I think so too, actually. I mean, overall, that went pretty well.
And, Father Makarov?
The man doesn't pay attention to anything.
That probably is going to be, and I look around, make sure there's no one listening, the most enabling of chaperone.
Can I get all four of you to roll me a spot hidden, please?
No, no, that sounds bad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna burn the 2.
Is it the black one, right?
I am not going to burn the 41.
I think that's a wise choice right there.
I clicked the wrong one, but I failed.
I could.
So,
I'm just not going to.
Simon, are you going to burn the 5?
No, not this time.
All right, so it's only Maisie that notices glancing out the door of the general store after her mama. Everybody sees the clouds start to roll in. It kind of goes with the heavy atmosphere that y'all been feeling all day. But it's Maisie who notices that first crack of lightning crease across the sky as a bright, venomous green.
Well, shit.
Yeah. Rains begin to pour. It's slow at first, a slight pitter-patter on the ground. And then faster and faster. And it's heavy. And it's that kind of heavy rain that you get and is going to be a real short storm. It's going to blow itself out in a might while. Just kind of stand still for maybe 5 minutes. The weather will change again. But you see it, Maisie. That lightning crack across the sky as it darkens and the thunder rolls.
That doesn't look normal.
Last time that happened, I got burned half my body. That's the same type of storm we saw at Banks Ranch.
Well, then obviously we both need to be staying inside.
You're stealing the words from my mouth. I'm still just gonna go take a look outside to make sure that your mama made it safely.
Oh, thank you.
And I'll just take a look through the door. Is there anyone on the streets at the moment?
No, most folk have. You see a couple folk running, running inside to get out of the storm. As you look down, you can glance down the side of the boardwalk, and you see Mrs. Coldwater Stratton under the covered awning of Mrs. Lady Goodnight's house of rest as she kind of waves at a couple people she knows.
Okay. But nothing else.
Mm-mm.
All right.
So, again, the storm rages on, but it's quick and fast. And not 10 minutes later, it's past. There's still a heaviness in the air, and again, Deputy, you're reminded of that bright red sky you saw this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Puddles on the ground, and just that cool air beginning to float around you. What are you gonna do?
Well, that storm didn't last. Last time it was accompanied by some sort of weird bug person.
Like, the storm came through and then a weird bug person appeared?
Something like that, yeah.
So, I guess now that it's past, we need to go make sure that there aren't weird bugs.
Yeah. Do you have Susie on hand?
Yeah, give me a second. She'll go back behind the counter and grab her shotgun.
As you two of you prepare to go wander in the streets, we're gonna wind the clock back about half an hour, 40 minutes. Cut over to the good doctors. As you return to your residence to prepare for dinner at the Bradfords. Anything in particular you're doing?
Figured I'd check in with Isabel and see how she's doing.
You see Isabel she greets you very politely. She looks a lot better. There's still like a tiredness about her, but it's much, much better than it was.
And how are the children?
Oh, the children are fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with them. Is there a reason you're asking?
No, just genuine conversation is all.
I'm sorry. I know I've been short-tempered. I haven't been feeling well. My apologies. Anything interesting happening? Anything important?
I mean, right now, no. The others and I will be visiting the Bradford Ranch this evening for dinner.
Mrs. Genevieve Bradford, right?
Yes.
Why do I know that name?
Well, Miss Bradford was friends with the woman that you rode in on the coach with, Miss Langley.
Who?
Jane Langley?
Who is that?
You don't recall riding in with Miss Langley?
No, there was no one on the coach. It was, well, not after Laredo. It's just me and the children.
Can I make a psychology roll just to
Mhm.
see if she's...
I mean, I'd give you advantage on it because she is your sister. You're generally aware when she's attempting to lie to you. You may not always be able to tell what she's lying about, but you are aware when she's attempting to lie to you.
Okay, I will reroll. Hard success with advantage.
Yep. Her face is entirely blank. Nothing what you're saying makes any sense. There's no recollection for her.
Can you... I'm such a terrible brother. I didn't even ask how the entire trip went. Can you...
Oh, it was for the most part okay. I mean, we took the train down to Atlanta, and they're working on rebuilding the city. Of course, it's still so well. I mean, for what it was, it's a lot better than it was. And then we headed west to New Orleans. That was a very pleasant trip, actually. There were a couple of people there that I got to speak with, and spent the night in New Orleans. It's might more exciting than my usual trips, even for living in New York. It's astonishing. We went overland from on the carriage. There were a couple people in and out from like Abilene and Galveston and Laramie, and once we got to Laredo, it was just me and the children the rest of the way up.
And
Very quiet and peaceful, actually.
And I'll describe Jane to her, just so she's. And during the entire time, you never came across a blonde woman. Yeah.
Blonde woman.
Oh yeah, I'm short hair.
No, are you describing Jane, or are you?
Yeah. So I'll just describe Jane.
You would accurately describe Jane, or are you trying to intentionally not describe Jane?
No, I'm accurately trying to.
Okay. Because Eva Green is not a blonde. She has long dark hair and bright blue eyes.
Right.
Okay. No, none of. I mean, there are a couple people I know in New York who match that description. Josephine Astor comes to mind about that, and that Vanderbilt girl. You know, the one who made such a stink when you decided to move out here.
I recall.
She was most unpleasant. I didn't like her. But no, there was no one like that on the stage. I would have recalled that.
I mean, of course you would.
Are you okay, Drake?
Yeah, I'll be fine. Just, I could have swore you told me a story that I just don't remember. Or misinterpreted, apparently. It's getting later. I should probably get over and see Robert.
Okay. Are you... Oh, you're not joining us for dinner. That's right. You're going to go see Mrs. Bradford.
Right.
All right, then. I figure I'll make a pie for tomorrow.
Sounds very good, actually.
All right. And she just kind of looks at you with slight concern, but she doesn't say anything.
Yeah, and I will return the same look.
Okay.
Do take care. We'll talk later.
All right.
And then I'll head off. Assuming Robert would be Well, I'm assuming he would be at the jail, but I guess he's not.
Well, just as you're walking outside, you see the skies open up and the storm start. You happen to glance up the sidewalk and you see George standing in the door of Coldwater Sundries, looking to the north.
And I'll wait since I see the rain and everything coming. I'll just kind of hold off.
Yeah. It's not long, 5-10 minutes. Storm passes. You see a small gully of water emerging down the center side of the street, puddles everywhere. See a couple of the children running around, start splashing in them, and their mama's going, "Oh no, please don't do that." But you see Robert, turn and go back into the saloon and then start to come out with Maisie. You're muted.
Yeah. And then I'll dart across and meet up with them.
Okay.
Robert, Macy, I'm assuming everything's okay.
Yeah, everything is fine.
I mean, did you notice the green
Yeah, I
lightning
did.
in that storm?
You guys haven't seen anything out of the ordinary?
No, we're on our way to see if there's anything out of the ordinary left behind.
Oh, there's definitely some strange things going on. My sister has no recollection of Jane Langley.
Wait, what?
But they came in together.
Trust me, I understand. She can't recall even. I mean, she says after they rode in on the coach from Laredo, there was just her and the children.
She went on and on when she got here, though, about her good friend
Mm-hmm.
who rode her that whole way.
Yeah. I'm not sure there's a lot of things I'm unsure of. This is just added to the list. We should probably make sure there's not any of those strange things around since the storm rolled in.
If something out there, be it Jane or something she's working for or working with, can erase a whole person from your sister's memories.
We should probably be as alert as we can be then.
It might not matter if we won't remember the next day.
That's why I have to write things down. Of course. And I'm gonna start frantically scribbling everything that happened. Like all the major events that George remembers. I'm just gonna be a couple minutes.
And they're still kind of on the porch of the store, right?
Mhm.
So Maisie is gonna run back in and grab some notebooks or something. They probably have like notebooks that they would use at the school or something like that on hand, and bring them out and give one to Dr. Anders and have one for herself and keep one to give to the father when they run back into him.
And I actually have a notebook and a pencil handy. Thank you. And I'll just kind of write some things down.
We should go get the father.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, I should go warn him that Mama might be coming to talk to him.
So your mother's in town?
It's a long story.
I know. Father
So you make
Makarov is now our chaperone.
Well, congratulations.
I guess.
Certainly could be worse. I mean, it could be Nellie Connors.
She's scary.
Oh, certainly. I mean, there was a visit 2-3 months ago, and then I've never left the office the same the way. But anytime she comes to visit, there's definitely a checklist I run through every time. That woman could strike the fear into the devil himself.
So you make your way up the street to the wonderful church. And you open the door to the father doing what?
This is the night after we like stayed up all night.
The day after, yeah.
Yeah. I'm probably asleep in a pew, just head back. Like I was probably praying. Like I was probably just like head down, like saying some prayers for the night, and then just dozed off.
I could see it. Actually, that would make a lot of sense. I could believe it of the father. I understand why Miss Connors has some slightly negative opinions of the good father's, dedication to his work and the tendon of his flock, as it were.
We commented for a second, but he goes, "Oh, we should interrupt. Wait a second, is he snoring?"
100%.
So, who has the joy of waking up the good father?
Scott.
You lost, Doc.
And I guess as we kind of end, so I'm assuming he's head down on the pew, just kind of doing that. Well, I'll take one of the Bibles that are in the back of the pew, and I'll close the book right next to him.
Amen. Miss Connors. Oh. Hi.
Why, I certainly hope your nap was pleasant, Father.
It was unexpected.
I'll leave that between you and the Lord.
I'm sure he understands. Did something happen?
Oh, there was one of those fancy storms with all the green and whatnot that rolled through town probably a few minutes ago. Rather quick when we were going to go around and make sure that it didn't drag anything in with it.
Interesting. It went by that fast.
Oh, and I do believe Miss Coldwater and, well, Mr. Stone here has some good news to deliver to you, Father. But I'll leave that to them.
Sorely needed in this time.
Well, first of all, would you like the good news or the bad news first?
I suppose the bad news. End on a good note.
Somebody wiped Dr. Anders's sister's memory of Jane Langley, which you can imagine the implications of that.
Interesting.
So I think we've all decided to try and write down the things that have happened to us so that if we forget, there's a record.
Just thinking, if Miss Ambrose has the ability to access your memory, would she have the ability to wipe it as well?
Miss
I
Who?
wonder if
Ambrose?
Zelda.
Oh.
I mean, I've not had the opportunity to introduce Isabel to Miss Ambrose just yet, but that doesn't mean they haven't run into one another.
Would you remember if you had?
You bring up an interesting point there, Father. Not certain that I would.
It is too strange. Too strange. What was the good news? Maybe this will lighten the mood.
My mama is under the impression that you are now a chaperone for myself and Deputy Stone.
A chaperone for what?
It is customary here for when two young folk are in the process of courting that they are accompanied by an third party.
At all times.
In public.
In public.
Well, no, in private more.
Yeah, but Maisie's gonna say in public.
And I am supposed to watch you.
Just to make sure nothing inappropriate is occurring. I imagine that Mama will probably appear to talk to you at some point.
Great. I understand. I will do some more reading on this. Watching you two. See what is expected of me. I would not want to fail in this job. Look around, Miss Connors. Speaking of which, I need to find my help wanted sign again.
So you all wish to see if there's anything to be found after this storm?
Yeah.
Why don't you all roll me a spot hidden and a listen check?
Maisie is much too distracted about her mama wandering into the store today to be paying very close attention to anything.
So I got a hard success on the spot hidden, but a fail on the listen.
I don't think anyone succeeded on the listen roll.
I did.
Father Boris did.
Father Boris succeeded on the listen and succeeded on the spot hidden. And hard success from the doctor on the spot hidden. And a success. As you're walking through this town, you start wandering around. You're looking around, seeing what's different and missing. Father, you hear a light hissing sound, like a scorch sound, like something that a wet wood would get off when it's struck by something, like electricity or something. And as you're looking around and you're paying attention, you are out on the west side of town and you see something right here on the dirt.
The red cross that you drew?
Mm-hmm.
I approach it.
I mean, you would also see this deputy.
And what is it?
You see a figure lying on the ground. You get closer, closer. Father, you recognize that dress. You saw that dress this morning. As Nelly Connors was lambasting you for your failure to perform.
What else do I see?
Would you like to make a medicine check? Or do you want to call for help on that one?
Doctor, Deputy Macy, please come look. Something has happened.
And I'll rush out towards the father. What's and then I'm assuming I'll see the body.
Just there.
As you look upon it, you all rush up to this figure in that dress. It's easy to recognize. You all know Miss Connors. You know her, and you know how well she is in this town. But she doesn't look right. There's something off about it. There's small smoke coming from the body, but there are no burn marks.
Can I take a look at the body?
You can. You go up to her and roll her over, and I need you all to make a sanity roll, as what you see is this
Of course.
almost
Success.
limbs, similar to what you saw last night, except for, well, Maisie didn't see it.
Come on, Robert. Don't let us down.
Distracted by an important photo.
Give me just a quick second.
Yep.
Oh, extreme insanity.
Damn.
Right?
Odds of that are not great for him
You
either.
know, what? Yeah, right?
You see a twisted figure of Miss Nellie Connors. She kind of seems racked and withered, her limbs drained of any semblance of strength or vitality. They're twisted in on each other and almost knotted together.
So not like the other gentleman that was wrung out like a dish rag. This is more
Kind
almost
of
mummified.
No, more similar to the gentleman who was wrung out like a dish
Oh,
rag, but almost as if they had taken those two limbs that were wrung out and wrung them together.
Oh,
It's kind of a mockery of crossing your arms as they kind of get twisted and twisted together. And you see her face, and you all know Nellie Connors, and you look in her eyes, and she's gone. She's been gone for... You're not quite sure. You'd have to roll a medicine check to know that exactly, Father. Excuse me, Doctor. But, yeah. She hasn't been dead long, but she was angry and in pain when she died. And it was slow, and it was extended. And on that note, we're going to have to end it for tonight.
Did we lose any sanity for succeeding?
Nope, you did not.
Okay. Well, we all made fun of Nellie Connors today. And now you're putting in... This is not fair.
that's very fair.
I
Not fair.
don't think Maisie actually made fun of her. I think she was just stating a fact.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we were all just stating a fact.
I think Nellie would be proud to be called scary. She was a school marm, after all.
Mm-hmm.
It is her job to scare the people that she has raised.
Pretty much, it is her job. We doing okay, folks?
Oh yeah.
I'm sad.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm bummed.
I'm sad. Let's see. Do Orthodox priests call crusades?
Well, you'd need your patriarch to do that for you.
Yeah, I gotta request it.
Put in a motion for a request for a crusade.
Damn it.
But,
It's not actually a terrible idea.
it would just have to go to his bishop, and then possibly to Russia, and then back.
Yeah, it's
So it'd take a
days.
while.
it'd take a little
But, like,
time.
it's
Yeah,
still not a
couple
bad
days.
We may all be dead in the morning. Somebody has to come save this town.
That's right. Oh wow, that was yeah.
A thing. So, let's go around the table, outro ourselves. Tell us who you are, what you have going on in your life, where we can find you on the internet. And let's start with the new chaperone. I'm gonna have to change your title on the overlay, Quentin.
Great session. I loved it. I'm super upset. Father Boris is super upset. I have to plot against Deirdre on how to get revenge on whoever, whatever. Yeah, really hits home on this one. Yeah, he's a forgetful, out of shape old man, but he's still cared for Miss Connors, even though all the crap she gave him. Anyway, I don't know. I don't have anything going on the internet. Watch me next Saturday so I can hopefully die or live, something, kill someone. My mind's all flustered now. Follow everybody else.
Who you're supposed to baptize.
Yeah, Pharaoh's just baptized.
All right, then.
That's all I got.
All right, Doctor.
Yes. So also bummed out. That was an out of left field move there that I was not expecting. But we can all certainly hope that the father learns to be a better chaperone than priest. Sorry, that was uncalled for. You can catch me on the internet at Berserker Rage. You can see me here on Saturdays. It seems I will also be joining Simon possibly for a one shot on this Wednesday. So yeah, come check out Malagos and Bizagos, or I think I said that right, or is it the other way around? I'm not sure. But yeah, Wednesday evening, that'll be where I'm at. So come check it out.
Thank you. And Maisie.
Oh, hi. That was a fun one. Got to see some of things that Deirdre and I have discussed previously. Yeah, so I'm Kelly, A. Kelly Lane on Twitter, A. Kelly in chat. You can find me Monday nights DMing a D&D 5e campaign on Scarticus Academy called Tilt. You can find me Wednesdays playing in the newly revamped Wednesday evening campaign, Game of Masks, where we play teenage superheroes that are trying to figure out how to super. So that's super fun. You can also find articles that I write on Scrat's Patreon. You can also find me lurking in chat everywhere. I'm just all over the internet. I'm very, very opposite of our good father. So that's me. This was fun today. I enjoyed it. I'm very happy that I will be here next Saturday as well.
Cool. And Deirdre.
Hi all, you know me. I'm at Deirdre Donlan on Twitter or Practice Gore as Miaphorias. You see me hanging out in the Twitch chat. I had fun. I had
How
so
could
much
you?
fun.
You always have fun.
I mean, I things just happen, and happen as they fall, as things have been plotted for a while. But as for me, you will find me tomorrow on Soul Bear RPG for some Shattered Fam. Come for the Death and Dismemberment, stay for the Shattered Family drama. We have our new cast member joining us tomorrow. Yay! And then Monday over on Role Players for some Age of Arcana, D&D, and there's pie and stress baking. And the Lawful Good, I'm going to cast Detect Thoughts on the rest of the party. Yeah, that was fine. But we are, and then be back here. But check my Twitter. I always post where I'm going to be. I will probably be doing lots of things. So do that.
All right, and I'm Simon at Wandering DM. Hi, everyone. Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out in chat. Thanks for playing. All three of you, thank you for keeping... That's a weird term. Thank you for game mastering. Deirdre, and we will see you next Saturday. Bye-bye, everyone.